Alright guys, welcome to Smoking Something Sundays. As requested by Corey, we're going to do some ribs today. So, first thing you do is you need to go get yourself some baby back ribs or some spare ribs. Either one work really well. These are from Strasburg Meats. This one that I already did up so you don't have to watch me prep two of them is from Giant Eagle. So you use a chef's knife because you might be cutting some bone on this. You want to cut the plastic. You're going to open up your plastic, get your ribs out. First thing I did before I came outside was I sharpened my knife and I washed my hands. Remember, hand washing is very important. Keep things clean. So now it's time to trim up our ribs. So what you're looking for is you're looking for some aerodynamics in your ribs. Now that sounds kind of goofy, but stuff like this that's hanging off will burn, so go ahead and cut that off. And then you got to watch, make sure your bones aren't splintered off. So we're going to kind of box these up. All right. Then one of the most important parts in rib preparation that a lot of people don't do because they don't know it exists is there's a membrane on the back of this. So we need to peel that membrane off. So get yourself a knife under there. Be careful you don't cut yourself. Need to get it pried up a little bit. There we go. Then take yourself a paper towel so you can grab a hold of it. And if you're lucky, it peels off in one big membrane. What this membrane is it protects the organs from the ribs and sharp things like that. So we peel this membrane back. Now we're going to cook this at 275 on the smoker. So it's going to render this fat and cook it real nice like. Again, make sure anything that peeled up, trim off, otherwise it's just going to burn. Alright, that's looking pretty good. So we're going to flip her back over because we're going to season this side first. Now with ribs, there's not a lot of blood or anything, so a rub tends not to stick to them very well. So first we're going to coat them in olive oil. Rub that down nice and so you get this nice glisten to it. Then my rub for today: salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika. I'll put the recipe online here in a little bit whenever I start the video. And you just want to shake back and forth. You want these real even because unlike a brisket or a pork butt, there's not a lot of meat to them, so if you get a big clump, it's going to show up. So do the meat side first, and flip them over. Olive oil the underside. Careful running your hands along the bones, don't want you to get cut. Take your shaker again. Get the underside of them just as nice. Alright, that's looking pretty even. I'm going to go ahead and coat the top ones again. Alright, we are ready to throw these bad boys on the smoker. So let's look at the smoker for a second. Alright, we're going to cook at 275. And today, we got a water pan in there because we don't want our ribs to dry out. All that is just straight water. So we're going to put our ribs on our grate, kind of in an angle. Remember, I said we're aerodynamic.
Here comes the competition.
Oh yeah, my special treat for you guys today. Yesterday, I was contacted by the Oliver Pitmaster, the master of ribs, according to himself. Just ask him, he'll tell you. Mr. Richard Burka, aka the neighbor, challenged me to a rib burn-off.
Rib burn-off!
So this is the first annual Smoking Something Sundays ribs burn off. So, be back in a minute and I'll show you the pellets that we're going to use for today's competition. Alright, Mr. Pitmaster, we're back. These are your ribs. You did them up last night, I'm assuming.
I did them up this morning.
You did them up this morning. What did you use to do your ribs?
Oh, well, I started off with rub them in vinegar. Then I squirt some mustard on there, rub some mustard on there. Then a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. And then a special barbecue Pitmaster seasoning.
Nice. So let's take a look at his on his smoker here. Now, as you see, he's using old school. So we got a pile of wood here, some cherry and some oak. And then he's got some charcoal briquettes to use up. And then he's got this special wood over here that he's been soaking. What's in the soaker?
That's apple wood chips.
We got some apple wood chips in the smoker. For my blend today, we're going to use our standard 50-50 mix of cherry, char hickory, but we're going to add something a little special today to kick it up a notch. We're going to pull out this special bucket right here for a little more oomph to the seasoning. And we're going to put 1 cup of mesquite in here. Now this is about a 5-hour cook, so it's going to use probably between 6 and 7 pounds of pellets. So right now you can see the pellet hopper's pretty empty. There we go. Pellet hopper's full. We are good to go for the next 3 hours. All right, guys. See you in a bit. All right, guys. Welcome back. We're about an hour into our smoke, so we're going to use some apple cider vinegar to spritz them down to make them look all nice. Ooh, those are looking good. So you want to spritz them about every hour. Apple cider vinegar, apple juice, 50-50 mix. It's up to you. All right, see you in an hour. All right, guys, welcome back. It's been 3 hours. They've been cooking at 225, so now it's time to wrap them. So you want a double layer of aluminum foil. I'm going to take some Great Lakes barbecue sauce and put just a little bit on the pan, not a whole bunch yet. Then we're going to take our apple cider vinegar apple juice mixture, spritz this down really good. Because this will be the last time we see them before we plop them back on. Get under them really good so you don't lose them. That breaks that beautiful bark. Spritz the top really well. Barbecue sauce. What this does is it helps keep all that good moisture in the ribs now. So we got a nice thing of apple juice. Make sure you don't slide it along the bottom so you don't scrape your pan and open it up. let these babies rest at 225 for about 2 hours. And we're not even gonna look at them or touch them or anything else. So let's see what the pitmaster is doing at 3 hours. So pitmaster, what are you gonna do?
Right now, I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna rotate them on the grill. See, we're getting kind of charred here by the smoke box. So I'm gonna put these ones over here, flip them. Where's the tongs at, buddy? Let's see what the pitmaster's gonna do.
Ooh, look at those bad boys. What's that right there? What's in your water pan? Why is it yellow?
I put apple juice in there.
Ooh, we put a little apple juice in there. So not only are you flipping their spots, you're rotating them on the grill, huh? Or on the smoker.
No rhyme or reason. I'm just winging it.
Spoken like a true legend. Now, will you spritz these before you close them back up?
Yes, sir, I will.
Those are looking good.
Little spritz action. See you in an hour, folks.
All right, guys, I'll see you in 2. All right, guys, here we go. The last video was screwed up because the pitmaster does not know how to video, but we'll get past that. So what I did was I unwrapped them. I threw them back on for 45 minutes. There's about 20 minutes left. I'm gonna go ahead and sauce them and spritz them for the last time. So let's take a look, see how they look right now. Oh yeah, that's a nice color. The bone's starting to peel back. Little Great Lakes Brewing Company barbecue sauce on it. Any barbecue sauce you want. I've used the one that I made last week whenever we did the chicken lollipops. Those turned out really good. And I'm only going to brush the top sides of these. I'm not going to brush both sides. But you don't want to put it on too early, otherwise it'll burn. Slap that on right there. It looks phenomenal. And we will see you in about 20 minutes. Hardest part of barbecue, that is letting your meat rest. You have to let meat rest. If you ever go to a restaurant and your meat is piping hot, don't cut into it. You need to let it reabsorb all those good juices and flavors. Otherwise, it's still squeezing the juices out. So we're going to shut down our smoker. Oh. Now we're just going to flop this onto... Ooh, we had a slight break off there. There are our 2 racks of ribs. Now we're going to walk these in the house and we're going to let them rest for 10 minutes. And then we're going to cut into them. So let's see what the pitmaster has on his side over here. So he's been keeping that temperature right at 250 to 275 all day. There's his apple juice boiling up. Coated ribs. Oh, look at them coated ribs. What do you think, Chief? How'd they come out?
I think they came out pretty darn good, if you ask me.
All right. Now, with ribs, unlike most meat, you won't take a temperature on. You can, but you really just cook them based on feel. And you want that meat to start pulling back from the bone, but you don't want to overcook them to where they're falling off the bone. Then you have what's called a parboil rib. Those aren't as good as smoked ribs. All right, so there's his aftermath. Look at that big old pile of ribs. And here is mine. So about 10 minutes, we'll let those rest, and then we're gonna have these knuckleheads all try them and tell us which one's their favorite. All right, these are our taste testers. What do you think of the first one?
It's great. It's really good.
Tender?
It's good. Very tender.
Very tender? All right, enjoy the first one. We'll be back with the second one, and then for a final vote here in a minute. All right, what do you guys think of the second one?
Too saucy.
A little too saucy?
It's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
It's great.
It's great. Now, if you had to pick a winner, first or the second one?
First.
So we have a first over here.
Second.
Second one. First?
Second.
Second one?
Yeah.
Me and Bryson both picked first.
So it's a 3-1. What'd you pick, Lily? First or the second one?
Second.
So you like that one?
No, wait. So me and Bryson picked first. No, I like the first.
First one?
Yeah.
So it's 3 for the first one and 1 for the second one.
Nope.
Well, Pitmaster, who was the first one?
Your teacher, Paul Dunlap.
And Pitmaster took the second one.
I take
But
defeat.
I'll tell you what, they are both phenomenal. And clearly by the kids devouring them, everything is great.
Okay, so Rich.
Way to go, sir.
It's been a good Sunday.
Now let's go wash our hands.
Yes.